Hey y'all, so I am going to do another get ready with me video. This is going to be a turquoise inspired makeup look. This is actually the look that I did for New York Fashion Week for the Society show in New York at the Roosevelt Hotel, and the designer that I worked with was Chrissy King. This is just the makeup look that I did on myself. So as you can see, my brows are already done, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm pretty fairly new to YouTube, so I'm not really good with editing. So sorry if my videos are longer than normal, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started right away. So I'm gonna start off with the MAC Prep and Prime, and this is this product right here. It's in a tube like this, and you just put it all over your face. And I'm just gonna put it in the areas where my T-zone is, because I have pores there, and it'll help minimize them as much as possible. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this. Let me let y'all zoom in a little so y'all can get a better view. That's better. I'm just gonna start off with this, putting it on my face and my T-zone areas. Then once I got that on, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of rub it in just a little bit. And then next I'm gonna take Milk of Magnesia. Oh! I'm gonna take the Milk of Magnesia, and I made a big ass fucking mess. So the top wasn't on securely, so okay, I guess these are bloopers. But anyway, we're gonna take this Milk of Magnesia. It is messy, guys, really, really messy. I take this Milk of Magnesia and give me 1 second. I got this all over my outfit. Ugh, this sucks. Okay, anyways, so we're gonna take that Milk of Magnesia and we're just gonna put a little of that all over the face, especially in the areas where it's oily. Just dab it all over your face. Now that we got the Milk of Magnesia out of the way, this time I'm gonna make sure that top is on more securely so we don't have any accidents later. So I'm just gonna dab that in more, making sure that it's all over my face. So the palette I'm gonna be using is gonna be the BH Cosmetics Modern Neutral palette right here. And I'm gonna start off with the translucent color, which would be an orange color. So I'm gonna be using these 3 oranges right here, a combination of the 3. So I'm gonna start off with one of the oranges. Looking for my mirror, guys. Hold on. Okay, so now that we got the color that we want on the brush. I'm going to be using a Bedelium tool 785 brush. I'm going to dip it in that orange color, and I'm going to start in my crease area. Start in my crease area. And in the other videos, you can see that I use tape to start off my makeup. I usually don't do that, but I did it that time just to give it a more, um, I guess, defined look. But I didn't like the way it just, to me, kind of irritated me. So I won't be using the tape in this video. But we're just gonna put that orange in the center, in the crease. I'm sorry, the crease of your eye. And when you're doing it in circular motions. Well, that's how I do it. I do it in circular motions because it's easier, for me. So you're gonna keep blending until you get that desired look. When I did my eyebrows and I put concealer on my eyes, this time I didn't use translucent powder after I put the concealer on because I wanted to see what type of effect would it give me this time. So all I did was just conceal my eyes, and I didn't use any translucent powder to make it stay. I just put this eyeshadow color on top just to see what it would do this time. And I'm kind of liking how the color is coming up. So just gonna keep blending that. Okay, that's pretty much good. So now that we got that side, we can go ahead and start on the other side. As I said, I'm using 3 different combinations of the orange and the BH Cosmetics Neutral Modern Neutrals palette. So I'm going to go ahead and start on this side also. And I'm just doing it in circular motions. Yeah, once I get my editing down packed, then I could shorten, the videos and make them more creative. But for now, I ain't got it, y'all. So it just takes time, and I'm probably not utilizing the time that I do have to do it. Because honestly, I'd rather pay somebody to edit my videos. I don't be having the time to do that. But in my spare time, because now I have 2 jobs, so in my spare time, that would be something productive for me to do. But the way some of my laziness is set up, I think so. But I'll definitely get into it because it'll be something, productive, like I said, that I can do. So I'm just still adding this orange color to my eyes and in circular motions. Want to get the orange as vibrant as possible. This is just my transition shade. Really, it's my base shade for the top part of my eyes, but it's all good. I'm gonna go over this a little bit more. same with the other eye. Now that we've got the orange, I'm gonna make sure that it's all the way blended. Now that we've got the orange, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my next color. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my next color. My next color is gonna be a dark brown, and it's gonna still be from that same palette, the BH Cosmetics Modern Neutrals palette. And the brown that I'm gonna use is actually gonna be this brown right here and this dark brown in my crease. And I'm gonna be using a Morphe M433 brush, which is like this right here. Have that brown on there. And then I'm gonna take that color and put it in the crease. This is just a lighter brown. Then I'm going to take that lighter brown on the other side and do the exact same thing. And just focusing on the crease part of my eye. And once I got that brown in there, I'm going to go into the darker brown and darken it up. Also for the other side, using that dark brown. I'm also going to add a little black to it, just to darken it just a little bit more. And I'm going to be careful with the black because it is very pigmented. So I got a little black on there, and I'm going to slightly just kind of so we're also going to do the same thing for the other eye. Now that we've gotten both eyes, just going to go over it one more time with the black. Now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and do our cut crease. And what I'm going to be using to cut the crease is the same concealer that I use to do my under part of my brows, which is the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the color Fawn. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease with this. When you're doing a cut crease, you don't have to go really fast, especially if it's your first time. Doing a cut crease isn't hard, but it's not the easiest thing to do. But I can say practice makes perfect. So now that we have the crease cut pretty much to where we want it, I'm gonna let that kind of dry a little bit, and then I can do the other eye. I swear I have the worst eyes. Like, they water up at any time, any given moment. That's why I usually do my lashes off camera, because, baby, the way these allergies is set up. Excuse me. So now that I have the crease cut to exactly where I want it, I'm gonna let that, like I said, dry. And then on top of that cut crease, instead of putting um, a translucent powder to set it, I'm gonna put an eyeshadow on top of it. And the eyeshadow that I'm gonna be using to put on top of that is from the Julia's Place palette, and this is the Zulu, and it's gonna be this turquoise blue color right here. And I'm going to be using this Morph M422 flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to take not too much of that turquoise, because I'm going to put like a glittery type of base on top of it. The last look that I did, I used actual glitter, but I found my other glitter base, so I'm going to use that. So this is the turquoise. I'm just going to put that on top of that concealer that we put down. And it doesn't have to be a lot, just enough for the base of the color to come out, so that when I put the glitter on, you'll already see most of the turquoise color that I'm adding right now. So I'm just packing that color on, pressing it in. Okay, now that we've got that color, we can go ahead and, excuse me, move to the other eye and do the exact same thing that we just did on this eye, adding the turquoise color. Like I said, you don't have to use a lot, just a little bit to pack the color on. Now that we've got that color on, what I'm going to do is go back over the orange color that I put down before and just kind of blend that in. And this time, the orange that I'm using is going to be in the Zulu palette, this orange here. I'm just going over it because that orange is a little bit more vibrant than the one from the BH Cosmetics palette. And I'm also going to take that brown here and just kind of give it a little bit more dimension to my eye. Then I'm going to take those two colors and blend them together. And to blend them together, I use like a darker orange to blend those two together. That brown and that orange, so you don't see where it begins or where it ends, basically. So now that we got that out the way, I'm gonna go ahead and add the glitter on my eyes that I'm gonna be using. And this is the Ruby Kisses Eye Bling Liquid Eyeliner. I've never used this on my eyes, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply it now. And this is basically how it looks right here. You can get this from your local beauty supply store. It was only like $2.99, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that over my eyes. This is my first time using this glitter, so excited to see how it wears on my eyes. And then I'm gonna do the other eye. But I can say, since this is my first time using this, it kind of burns. And I don't know if that's normal. You want to take your time. So this is so far how it looks. So we're going to let that dry and we're going to continue the rest of the face before we go back to the eyes. So what I'm going to be using is BH Cosmetics Liquid Foundation in the color Deep Cocoa. And I don't have a whole lot in here, so I'm going to use what I got. And this is it. I'm almost out of it. So we're going to take a little of that and put it all over her face. And the Milk of Magnesia is white on my face, and that's okay. And don't worry guys, I only use this color on me. Okay, once we got that foundation on, I'm going to take my blending beauty blender, which is this, and I'm just going to press the makeup, the foundation into my skin, and you're just going to press it into the skin. Making sure you're not missing any areas. You want to make sure you press the makeup into your skin. Do not rub it. It's better to press it in, like pressing, 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 pressing is what I'm doing. And you can keep pressing as much as you need to make sure that it is everywhere and you're not missing any spots. That's what I usually do. Just keep pressing until I'm comfortable with how the foundation looks on my face. Okay, I'm pretty much satisfied with how it looks. So the next step is going to be highlighting, and I'm going to highlight my face using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn for the under eye area. And since this is a really light color, you don't want to use too much. With highlight, you always want to use a color that's 2 to 3 times lighter than your actual skin tone. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I just take a little of that and kind of and then I'm going to take it, just dab it on my chin, the center of the bridge of my nose. And also I'm going to use it on this other side of my eye. When I do it in the center of my nose, I don't do it too much, mainly because I don't want my nose to look super narrow, but just, you know, enough. So once we got that on, I'm also going to use this on the side. And once I contour the bottom part of my face, excuse my earrings, I'm only going to use a little at the bottom. Like, you can barely see it, but you don't need a whole lot to do the bottom part of your face because you're not contouring that part, you're just kind of sculpting it out. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Just a little bit. Now that we've got that, I'm going to take that same beauty blender that I use for my foundation and press in the concealer that I use. Press that into the skin. Now we got the chin. We're going to go ahead and start with the eyes. And I'm using that same side that I use for the foundation to press the concealer in. You want to make sure that it's pressed in all the way. Especially under your eyes where it could be creasing and stuff like that. Then we're going to do the nose as well. And the forehead. Pressing it in the skin. Making sure that's all the way in. And then the bottom part of your face, you're just going to press that in and bring it down. Now that we've got that done, I'm gonna go ahead and contour my face before I add the um, powder. So I'm gonna contour with LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Mahogany, and it's a dark brown color. So I'm gonna go ahead and contour that. And with this contour, a little goes a long way, so you don't need a whole lot, but just enough to where you can actually see it. And I'm gonna do the same for this side and kind of dab it around the perimeter of my face. I'm also gonna do my nose, contour my nose. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and set my concealer under my eyes. But before I do that, I'm gonna make sure that I press that in one more time. Then I'm gonna take a wedge. The translucent powder that I'm gonna use this time is the Midnight Topaz, which is this right here, and I'm gonna use that to actually set my foundation. The concealer also. Just gonna take a wedge like this and then just kind of making sure that we got that everywhere, and also here at the bottom of the face. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other eye. And then just bring it down at the bottom also. While we got that set, or setting, as I should say, the forehead. I'm not gonna set my nose just yet because I want to contour it first, or blend it rather. I'm gonna take my blending brush here and just contour and blend out the contour that's on my nose. I'm gonna make sure that's blended all the way. Sometimes I go into my eye socket area just to give it the effect that it's, you know, all in one. Now that we got that pretty much blended, I can go ahead and set my nose. While I'm actually setting that, I'm going to go ahead and blend in the contour that I put on my face, the Mahogany, which is this. So we're going to use this ELF small stippling brush, and I'm just going to moving in circular motions. And the perimeter of my face also. I'm going to do it for the other side as well. And just do circular motions on the contour. Making sure it's blended all the way through. You can go back over it in circular motions also. Just to make sure everything is perfectly blended. Now that we've got that taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and do my lips. I'm just using a dark brown pencil to line them up. And you can get any dark brown pencil. And the two colors I'm going to be using on my lips are, this is from Wet n Wild. It's called Purdy Permission number 970. And this one is a Nakia K, and this is Orange Tint in 920. So since the Wet n Wild, which is this one, is a little bit darker, I'm going to put that on first. And then just press it. Then I'm going to take that orange tint and put that on top of it. And with the orange tint, I'm going to go over the lining that I put down, the brown lining. Now I'm going to take that color, this topaz and benign, and just kind of dust everything off. What I'm dusting it off with is an e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. You want to make sure everything is blended all the way out. Now I'm going to take that small stippling brush that I used and take this contour duo palette from Nakia K, just this, and take that darker brown, kind of tap it on there, and then go over that contour once more. Also at the bottom of my chin. circular motions again. Then I'm going to go back over the eyes with that orange, kind of bring out that color a little bit more. You're going to take that same um, eyeshadow brush, the Morphe M422 that I used to put the turquoise base on. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to take the orange and brown and mixing it up and using it at the bottom of my eye. Do the same for the other eye. Taking a dark brown and going under that as well. Now that we got the entire look, I'm going to add lashes, and I'm going to spritz my face before I add the lashes with this dewy spritz to fix by Absolute. I'm just going to go ahead and spray my face down. Then sometimes I kind of fan it to dry it. Then I'm going to take my Nakia K Perfection highlighter in the color Copper, and I'm going to just go ahead and add that here. Look at that. Blinding y'all. Look at that. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side. Also for the center of my nose. The middle of my forehead. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my lashes off camera. So this is the finished turquoise look, guys. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Peace and blessings. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Pretty Flawless Artistry. That's PrettyFlawlessArtistry. Pretty Flawless Artistry. Bye. Thank you for watching.